Hello and back to Satisfactory. I've been doing a little bit of yak shaving, as they say. Head up for interesting software engineering thoughts. It basically means you want to do X, but before you can do X, you need to do Y, and before you need to do Y, you need to do Z, and so on. We need some materials for our next unlocks. I'm going to take you through this really quick before we swing into what I want to accomplish. We're in Tier 6. We want to unlock railway signaling, which requires computers, pipeline engineering, which requires heavy modular frames, and fix-it blueprints, which require both. It'd be 150 of each. Now, I could gather up the materials and sit there and just let myself handcraft it while doing other things. That's no fun. That's no fun at all. Instead, I figured I would take this northern area, turn it into a steel foundry. So we're going to bring the coal in that I reserved the coal for energy. We don't need energy anymore. I'm going to bring the iron in, or coal in to the iron area, and we're going to make some steel. And out of that steel, we'll make some beams and some pipes, and then we'll make some, what do they call it? Encased industrial beams. I have worked out how to do this. That all kind of balances out, and we use all of the coal and all of the iron, and we get a decent yield. I started looking at what it would take. Well, it's going to take some mining, some smelting, and some constructors. And I'm thinking I've done some generics already. Let's get into blueprints. I'm gathering them all into one area and extending them a bit. So we had a generic smelter. I have extended those. I basically have been tinkering around this morning with these generic blueprints and configuring some of them up so I don't have to get in and edit them real time. But mainly it's fitting 8 smelters in and fitting 8 constructors in. I had one with 6. I just moved everything around a little bit to get 8. The 3x assemblers didn't require much of a change, but I did it anyway. I turned them. So there's some small changes. But the one blueprint that I hadn't done is the foundries, the steel smelters. So I started thinking about how I could fit 6 smelters on one of these layouts. The trick is that they have 2 inputs. Now we've got assemblers which have 2 inputs. But we're going to do 6 of them instead of 3. I thought, well, what if I put 3 of them on the left, the inputs in the middle, and 3 of them on the right with inputs in the middle? Okay, we could fit that. So they have 2 inputs. Each one of them is going to take 2 different inputs. We've got 6 of them. So if we bring one input in, split it 3 ways, and send it on through, and then split it 2 ways going this way, get one of the inputs, and we could do the other input from the other side. I thought, well, is this going to work with the layout? These 4 are where the inputs fall for the middle foundry. So I put one out here for where the input falls for the next foundry over. Thinking is we end up with these guys taking from the right, and these guys taking from the left, and this guy has to take from the left. That. So now the question is, can I fit the splitters in so that I have 3 lines coming from this way and 3 lines coming from the other way, reflecting? Let's take a look. You're going to be a splitter going away from me, like that. Splitter going toward me, and that does have clearance. Cool. So then on this side, we just need to pick up the correct 3 and do a 1-to-3 merge, or 1-to-3 split, and bring our input in from there. The other trick is, do we have space for our outputs. I didn't leave an output hole. Here left. Some of this is left over from. Let's put the rest of the holes in place. Since I now have some confidence that we have enough space. Let's start off with taking our output holes over here and making sure that I can do the merge of the three. This is all 7. If you're about there, brings my output down about there. I actually have some leeway on where this can go. I can move this to the left and right a bit. We line up that foundry. That. Just want to check these two. The idea is we'll have a merger here. And this guy will feed into the merger. We'll have a merger, same thing on the other side, so we'll have to have his output snake through here and join us. Here's where our output. I'm sorry. I was going to merge it all together in the middle, wasn't I? Put that back the way. So what I did was I used a foundation to get this lined up in the dead middle. Put a wall on either side of it, and then put a wall on the end. We actually have 2 walls overlapping right there in the middle. And because the geometry on these walls is 2 halves that fit together, well, we're probably getting Z fighting. They have the same texture, so there's no visual artifact. Yay! So if you are coming down there, down there, are a merger output to the right. Output to the left. Bring this belt all the way around. Yes, we can. Now what's left is assuring that we've got space in here. I think I only need one more. That needs to come out. We need a 3-way splitter here. And we are out of space. Which tells me that I need to move the holes and such over to the... We could do that. Let's work from other side. This is going to need to come from an input. I'll want our input down the middle, don't we? Put our... Let's arrange. I didn't have one on the middle on this side, so I will have to do the little dodge that I did before. You start off with foundations in the right place. You can do a 4 high, but I didn't feel the need to switch. It's just to get a foundation in place so you can put that in place like that. splitter from the outside, just like that. So this is going to be coming around. Yeah, I really do need to get all the holes in to go any further. Because, yeah, this may not be a plan. Oh, talk about just barely. What? So whichever side that comes from. Oh, I was taking it from outboard? Okay, if that's there. Merger coming there. Yeah, let's get all the holes together. And our outputs just need to be something where we can merge it. I bring it down last possible place. Then the merger is going to be out by 1. Put this merger on the very far edge. Facing this way. Gotta be somewhere I can bring it down to. There. But that's if I put the hole right like that. Should be. Wait a minute. That's not correct. Because the output isn't in the middle. I do want to come down the back so that the output of this merger comes out the front here and can be bent back to the merger here. So like that. And that means we are stretching this all the way out to we're in line with one of these. That's okay. So facing the inputs, output is back on the and back here, back here. doesn't look at all right. Yeah, close enough. Okay. All of this. There's all of our holes. Pick up the splitters because we're going to do our first. Because we've got a merger here, these need to come from the right. These also need to come that direction. We just simply don't have enough space. Side again. In from there. So there's our inputs. Yeah, I am really glad that the splitters can clip onto the lifter. So compact. So one of our inputs needs to come in. It needs to be split. It needs to come in here. Be split 3 ways across there. The other guy is going to do the same thing over there. It's almost symmetric, although one will be offset to the right one. I'm going to choose to offset the other way from output, so we'll have our in this way. The splitter coming from our direction. There, follow-ups on the back. Good use. What these get us is this guy turns into a 1 to 2 splitter, and this guy just is how we get the nice tight turn. I don't think we could make that bend directly. I think I might have splitter from my direction, that direction. I think that's correct. Perfect. In front of this, we get a splitter from the right. This is going to be the 1 to 3 splitter. Get his input from the 1 to 2 splitter coming in. That's the splitter that is dead centered. That looks about right. In straight mode, do the rescue. And that's how much space we have to do the whole merger on the left. Oh boy. I think we're going to end up clipping. I really do want to do this as a even split though. I'm willing to clip to get that. Splitter from the right. We are definitely going to be overlapping. Completely overlapping, not just clipping. This is actually output. Is it important to absolutely cleanly 3-to-1 merge? It is not. It is important to get things going the right direction, though. Our outputs are along the wall. We'll be putting mergers down that come toward us. Final merger that goes to the outside world here. Correct. And move straight. So the output is not going to be a even merge from the directors. That does mean that if everybody has a backlog, the guy in front is going to be favored. I don't think that's a problem. Because if we get in a situation where we need all of our output, they'll all be running. Yeah, it's close, but it's not clipping. Take a look at the other side. Same thing here. Got to do the output section first, just randomly. This guy is going to be a little different. I need to have his merge facing to the right. Here to here, here to here, and there, there. And by clipping that in first in straight mode, that defers bend until the end. We have it. And now the last tangle. I need to put in letters from me to the other side, left on all of the remainders of this guy. Yeah, I'm bouncing with my thumb on the space bar to hover a little bit. Up. Middle again. So that's where we're going. Splitter coming from this direction. Not clipping, but close. It's good to know that we could join them up like that, but I think we would still need to sneak a belt in. Actually worth checking at some point. If you join a couple of splitters by putting them right next to each other, does it become a 5-way splitter? That would be ultra cool. That. You. There. So input comes in, splits in half. This side splits into 3. Splitter there. One side goes up, one side goes on, and it goes up. So I think we have successfully organized our subfloor. Let's put the front wall in. That's to you. Oh, that's half and half in the middle. That earlier. And once it's done, it's nice. I'm going to assume this is all working. It's not, I'm gonna have to peel stuff off the top, but let's put the underfloor. Zoop mode, so we can 4 across. And when all the Z fighting settles, we have our nice sandwich layer, raised floor, and the belts that are adjacent to the bottom floor. So minimum sandwich layer, let's put in the wow, okay, exciting, sort of. We get our input. And I'm a fool because we're not sending one input to both sides. How many of you caught that? These are two different items, like coal and iron, that are going in here. Hello, Mr. Idiot. Now that could be a problem. So from there, we want to come to there. This side, it's not that big. Going to come here. I'm in, and this side is trickier because we've got this. Fortunately, you are an input. There. Okay. A little bit of a clipping in the underfloor is not a problem, especially when it's the side rails. Pour back in. On. Right there, side. Side the. Okay. We have an input here that goes to one side of all of the smelters being evenly, an input here that goes to the other side of all the smelters being split evenly. Now, I probably could have, I put it here, like, it might be easier if I get my inputs here. Yeah, I know, I had it all buttoned up. Can I bring it? I have to bring it. Fingers on the keys. So coming out. The clipping we have is a little bit there. Let's see if I can. I probably have a choice of either clipping here or clipping. That will work. If I want to make the side the same, now are half plus 1 meter from the edge. So if you drag a belt to a wall and it just exactly bends in, it will not go inside. It overlaps a little. I think I undid the check that. Learning from mistakes. So starting from that far corner, there's a little bit more open space to work. Our inputs are in second and third wall instead of the first and fourth. They get split between all of those. Our outputs get merged back together, semi-manifold, and our output comes out here. I'm gonna save this really quick at Mark 6 foundries, and there was my notes on the edge. So left from each foundry, see evenly split each side, split 3, then 1 to 2. Puts each side manifold 3 to 1, 2 to 1 to the output on or connector on the we haven't put the haven't put the smelters in yet, but I wanted to get it saved there in case I really mess it up so I could. But these guys just need to be put in somewhere so that we can pick up and put in. And it's kind of a long straddle. I could put it like that and use belts in the front, or do that and I'll see if that connects. I think that needs a belt. try the next one forward from there. That doesn't sound like it's... Doesn't look like it's clipping any. Okay, so I have placed the holes far enough apart that I'm going to need belts no matter what. I'm thinking I would rather have a longer belt, shorter. I'm going to have a belt, which means I want here. These guys are going to clip in normally. This guy has to have a bit of a belt, but that's so that I can get enough space to do all of the splitting and merging. The other thing I'm realizing is that the power on these guys is on the input side. So I need to run the power. I think I'm busy enough on the underside of this that we're going to run the power above surface. We'll run that last. My apologies to anybody who reacts badly to opposed power. But I checked. I don't want to be bringing things up I like. Place where it on the ground. Okay. It's done. Uh-oh. Play with that. Okay, something about straight on that particular connection wasn't default. It worked just fine, though. Power. I'm going to bring the power straight out to the front. All the way to the back here. That does violate one of my ideals, which is to keep these corner ones kind of clear. So what I'll do is I will corner it's down like that. And now I'm facing the fact that these guys move on half-meter increments, and these don't. Son of a... On a proper... You're on the proper board. Or to the point I can start from you, clip onto here. Still in the wrong. Okay, that's good. Which way? Oh. Apparently, you've got flooring there that I missed. And the other side, same thing. Bring them out to the front, drop one down to the middle. I think I can start by in. Or here, or... Guys don't really wind up. Where did he come from? Must have been left over from the previous build. I tend to base each one of these blueprints on a previous one rather than starting from scratch or from common ancestors. Apparently. Okay. I always get a little nervous when I see something extra highlighted. You out? This line. And while we can place them on half meter, that one. That should be perfectly. Yep. Put it in a trial spot and see what it looks like. It's too far left. Have it. I want to leave 3 connections available on these power poles just in case. It helps me snap things together vertically. So he's connected to here. Where those come down to here, and they're connected. So we're good. So power merged. Splits. Good. This is our unprogrammed foundry. Save blueprint. Now we actually are going to be doing foundries that make steel. Let's configure it. Save it again. And use solid steel ingots for this. Those we're not using molded steel pipe or molded beams. I evaluated using those, and I just didn't have enough limestone in the area. Yeah, I've got significant limestone, but I'll be using it all. Because the encased industrial beams always use a lot of concrete. Get all those, double check. Steel ingots, 6, all done. All this solid. Foundry ingots from get the numbers. $40 by 6 inch, 240 iron ingots, 240 coal. Making 6 by 6 use 360 X. Yes. Put that down real quick so I write the first time. $260 steel from to 140. Yeah, 140 per ball. Inputs are evenly split. inputs are 3-to-1 folds. 2-to-1. Pointing icon. Steel ingots save. Now the other things that I'm looking at, let's bring up the checklist for the steel foundry that this is going to go into. So we're going to need to go get our coal, and there's a whole bunch up there. But a whole bunch isn't enough. We'll actually need to be overclocking 2 of our coal mines to 150%. We're going to be making 3 instances of Mark II miner on stone, feeding 6 constructors making concrete. Have that recipe. I'll actually be using the recipe for 8 constructors, and the fact that they're going to be running a little slow is okay. We can always reprogram them with a down clock. Steel beams. So we have smelters making iron ingots. We've got a blueprint ready for that. We've got foundries making installed steel ingots. We've got that ready. Constructors making steel beam. We've got the constructors ready. I just need to set up for steel beam. Let's program those while I'm thinking of it. We're not actually going to get into the construction here. Third blueprint designer. I'm always paranoid about that. Click all, sort. I've got a whole bunch of junk in my inventory I don't need. Load blueprint. Oh, redo that. Edit. So the solid steel ingots need to go into my new Mark IV generics area. Down here we got foundry. Also go to the same place. So now I need to get a blueprint for constructors making steel beams. We're going to load up that. That's my constructor base blueprint. Steel beams. And for just a moment, that constructor transparent. Kind of read me. One reason why I always do this on the blueprint machine now. I've been doing a lot of blueprint work. So. And let's get the number. Uh-oh, where did I just save this? So the numbers for steel beams are 60 by 8 is 480 per minute. Steel ingots down to 15 by 8 minute. select icon, steel beam, save blue. And we in place. These are constructors. There we go. The steel beams. I believe I already set up assemblers making EIBs. Yes, I have. I've done it both with encased pipes and encased beams, so we're ready to go there. Constructors making iron pipe. Right, I'm not making steel pipes at all. Because it turned out that if I turned all of my steel into steel beams, all of my coal into steel beams, it made just enough. Now we go back and we pick up the other two iron mines. Ingots, constructors making iron pipe. 3? Wow, we're just going to downclock the heck out of this. I'm going to start with this. Damn it. Numbers. Pipe is so yeah, 20 ingot arrow 5 pipe. I forgot how effective this was. We're gonna downclock the heck out of these machines. Constructors making 200 40 per minute iron pipe. Up to 1/4 of that, so 120 per minute iron ingots. Input evenly split. Evenly scales. And output 100 per minute input if belts are upgrade. So this particular blueprint will be overkill, whatever we. So the recipes here get reordered on me. And I'm not sure, I think it's newer ones go on the left. I tried to reorder them manually and still came up with a different order, so Newest on the left doesn't make a, it's not bad, but that has all of the blueprints that I need to build the steel base for the checklist you see in the upper left-hand corner. And I have a prayer engagement for this evening, so I save this up here and come back. I will start building that steel foundry. That'll just be a matter of flipping things into place. Oh, I need to clear that. Always clear your blueprint machines when you leave them. In fact, it's tempting to remove the machine completely. I've had weird things happen with different recipes being instantiated in the blueprint machine. Now, what all do I want to leave behind here? I'm really going to pick up what I need to do the build, so let's just dump all this stuff here so we get some extra points. Plastic, rotors, engines, that. We are going to keep 2 more AI limiters on us. We need to make some more of those. Not right now. Let's head up to the steel area and then I won't cut this loose. Oh, and the other thing I did while I was thinking, you'll see that in a moment. Or you will not see it. Basically, I tore down that entire area. I could have kept the smelters. I could have kept the concrete mixers. I decided I wanted to replace them with better blueprints anyway. And that's what we're going to pick up next time. I'll see you then.